All right, so let's take a look at arrow functions. So I'm going to say function, and I'm going to say name. This is going to be a normal function. And we're going to say this is going to have a name, and we're just going to console that out. So console.log, and I'm going to put backticks for string literal, and I'm going to say your name is, and then I'm going to put name, right? And then we're just going to call that function say name, and I'm going to put Mike. So if I were to run this, so your name is Mike, and that's just your regular function, right? So how would I turn this into an arrow function? I would say the same thing, except I need to name it instead of just having a function. I'm going to say const say age, which you should know is just a variable, and you say equal to, and then the parenthesis for name for age, so age, and then you have arrow to the word function, and you would just console that out. So console.log, and I'm just gonna put age in there, right? And then you just gotta call it like you would the other function. So age, I'm gonna say 20. I'm gonna run it, and you have 20 down there, right? Makes sense. You can also see there also is. You're gonna see these arrow functions on one line. If you have one line of code, like if it's just a console log, you'll see it in one line. So I say const, let's say car make, right? And you could say the same thing, equals, and we'll say make, and arrow, and you'll say console.log, and I'm just gonna say the make. So that's the whole thing, and then it's just car make. We call car make, and it's gonna say BMW. We're gonna run it. You get the same thing, BMW. So you will see it on one line instead of two. Either way is fine, but if you do have more than one line, so if this is console log, and then you were to save it or something like or run another console log, anything like that, you're gonna need multiple lines, so you can't put it like this. The only other thing too is you're gonna see when you have multiple parameters. So when you only have one parameter, you can write age like that. If I run it, I'm gonna get the same thing. So you don't necessarily need parentheses, but if there's two, so if I said age and then age 2, I'm gonna get rid of this. And then I put the second age in here, so that's 24, and then I just need to console log both those ages, so age 2. And if I were to run this, you're going to see this error, because it's expected to end, because it's only expecting one variable in there. So instead of putting just those, I have to put the parentheses around it, run it, and you're going to see those ages come back. So you do want to have parentheses if you have more than one parameter, but as you're starting out as a beginner, I would just personally just always use the parenthesis until you're comfortable later on, right? And then lastly, let's talk about the anonymous functions. So anonymous functions run right away without being called. So I'm gonna get rid of this. Actually, let me just comment it out so it's there for you. So if I were to write anonymous function, so this, and then I wrote, I'm going to do function, and so I don't know if you've written these anonymous functions, but you basically are calling it right away. So it's not named, it's just going to run. So I'll put that log in there, and I'll just say, I will run right away. Then it's calling itself, and then when I run this, even without being called, it's just going to run, right? And that's an anonymous function. And then, so the arrow function will look just like it would for that one. Instead of having the word function, you're just going to have the parenthesis, you're going to have the arrow, and then you're going to write the same thing, and console.log, and I will too. and then you're calling it. And if I were to run this, you get I will too. So that anonymous function. So basically, error functions are pretty straightforward. They're just replacing that function word, and you're saving it into that variable instead of using function say name. You're using const say age. Pretty straightforward. All right. Hopefully this helped out. If it doesn't, or if you have additional questions, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll get back to you.